decided to be a ghost today. Sorry. I'm part of the afterlife. It's I don't know, man.
I swear I have pants on. Today I'm going to be talking to you all about funny One Direction stories. I'm not going to bore you with an intro, so let's get right to it. It was a long, rainy Wednesday. So what happened was, it was the day of the Where We Are concert in St. Louis. It decided to be really hot that day and then downpour, like 2 hours before the concert. I'm going to back up here. It was raining just a little bit before the concert when I got there, and it was probably about 4, and it was sprinkling, but it stopped. My friend Morgan and I had this dramatic internet friend hug. You know, the one where you're running and then you embrace them. And I would show you guys that. My friend failed at recording it. Besides that, later on that day, probably about 30 minutes later, I get lost in the middle of St. Louis. Downtown St. Louis, my dad decides to turn at the street, which I know is not the right street. Keep in mind we're walking, so it's not much better. We turn this corner, I'm like, Dad, I know it's this way. I asked this guy who had fabulous hair. Let me just say that. We eventually found the Starbucks. This was me and my internet friend's meeting place where we all wanted to meet. It didn't work out very well because I met Morgan somewhere else. I met Natalie, Justine, Brianna, and Lauren there. Anna was late. I don't blame her, it's not her fault. So we met up with her later. But what happened in the Starbucks was, for the longest time, it was just me, Lauren, Natalie, and Morgan. We were sitting there, just drinking our Starbucks like us white girls do. And we see Justine and Brianna outside. This is where it all breaks loose. So what happens is, we all decide to run out the door at once, and we end up knocking over the trash can. It's not that dramatic, but keep in mind this was a very tiny Starbucks in downtown St. Louis. Morgan, I'm not sure who originally knocks it over, but Morgan ends up picking it up, and I think Lauren knocks it back over. So I'm frantically trying to pick up this trash can so we don't get kicked out of Starbucks while trying to meet my internet friend. So I'm the last one outside, and it's still pouring down rain. So later that day, Brianna made a shirt that said, I don't know exactly what it said, but it was like Where We Are St. Louis or whatever. So we're all standing outside the Starbucks waiting for Anna, wearing these white shirts, and then this Asian lady who works at Starbucks, she's like walking in, she's like, I feel like I'm surrounded by a cult. It's probably not funny to a lot of you, but this is a kind of you have to be there moment. It was hilarious. And here are some pictures from that day.
One way or another.
Thanks One Direction for getting me almost kicked out of Starbucks. Thank you guys for watching / listening to this very hilarious, to me, story about the time me and my internet friends almost got kicked out of Starbucks before a One Direction concert. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to stylinson. Me and Melissa would greatly appreciate it. And make sure to like and comment. Also, make sure to check out our other videos by clicking on our channel.
Peace out, Girl Scout.